Hello, beautiful being. Thank you so much for tuning in. This video is about karmic loops and especially the shortening and the quickening of karmic loops. It's very interesting how this works, and I just channeled a message by the Akashic Records that I'm going to share with you in a little moment that is all about karmic loops. But to give you a quick visual context, I would actually would love to draw something for you on the drawing board. So let's go. Let's immediately go into it. By the way, just before we go there, I almost went. Just before we go there, my name is Philip Elisa. I am an Akashic Record teacher, and I'm here to create self-alignment. I'm really here to make your life incredibly easy and my own life incredibly easy. It's one of my passions. And thank you for being here on this channel. Also, I'm going to share with you a channel in a moment. If you like the vibration of this, and if you would love to have a live ceremony with me where the Akashic Records are channeling about 2025, there will be a link in the description. We're going to do it the 27th of December. It's going to be quite amazing. I'm excited about it. If you're watching this after the 27th, you can still go to the link and I will send you the replay. So, unfortunately, we already had the live experience, but I still am able to send you the replay in case that's excited. It's probably not going to be fully shared in the way it's going to be held on YouTube. So this is really a live experience, or like a digital Zoom experience for all of you. And I'm looking forward to meet you there or to connect with you in that live channel. For now, let me go to that drawing board. So, Karmic Loops. I want to create some awareness around karmic loops. It came through a couple of energy updates ago, and they have been sharing it, and I've been seeing it more in my clients and myself. It's been really becoming quicker and quicker, and I don't see anyone else talking about it. So I would love to extend your awareness a little bit on this, what it is, and why it is so nice that it is quickening. In a way, this is a person. This is the inside of a person, in a way, the energetic inside of a person. In a way, when you're young, when there is an event happening or a sequence of events happening, you are perceiving this event, and it goes inside of you, and it depends on how well you are able to process that event. If you're immediately being able to process this in the most highest love, it will just happen and it will go straight through you. But if you're not, it's being saved in your subconscious mind. So this event will have a imprint in your subconscious mind. Now, this imprint will be there, and you continue to grow, you continue to unfold, and at one point when you become ready to look at this imprint, what will do is it will create a new event based on the initial event. And this new event will have a similar signature so that you can become aware of this event. So let me signify it in another color even. I'm going to make it more pink. So the event and the karmic loop is different in color, you know? So the original event is blue. It creates an imprint. And as soon as you're ready to process this, because this is not working, this in your body is actually forcefully distorting your life. As soon as you become aware of this, there will be a new life, will create a new event for you, so that you are seeing like, this event is happening. I'm somehow attracting this. Can I become aware of what is stored inside of my body? And it may not be the first time that event reoccurs that you're aware of it. And it may not be the second time you become aware of it. But when the event keeps on happening, and we have a great pattern recognizer in our brains, we start to at one point realize, like, my gosh, this keeps on happening. What is going on? Why does this keeps on happening? And as soon as you start to question, and as soon as you don't go into a victim mentality, because you are not a victim of life, as soon as you start to realize that your subconscious mind is storing something and your life wants to become aware of that, you start to become insight. And if you can watch this in love and process it, which is what the channel of the Akashic Records is going to show you, as soon as that is happening, this will unfold and will be removed out of your system. And as soon as that is removed out of your system, this will not be there anymore. And so new events of that nature don't have to happen anymore. And what is this replaced by? This is replaced by your own inner light. And as soon as your inner light, which let me make that green, so this, as soon as the space is opened, your inner light, that is you, is able to fill up that space. And because of that, more events will be created that will reflect your inner light. So a karmic loop, in a way, works both ways. But if you have stuff in your system that are distorting your life, emotions that you were not able to fully process, then events will happen that will be helping you. They're really helping you, even though you don't like these events. They're helping you to actually make it happen. While if they are processed, your inner space is able to open up more fully, and so inner light can create experiences, and inner light experiences are experiences that greatly nurture you and that absolutely fit you as a person, as a being, as you as a consciousness. So to become aware of this is huge. And what the Akashic Records have been sharing in the energy update is that this loop was maybe first years long, but this loop is getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter because this process of processing these loops and becoming more inner light is becoming stronger. And as soon as we become aware of this, we start to really infuse ourselves more with our own inner light, and we start to clean up the traumas, the events, the things that happen, and then magic really starts to occur in our life. Synchronicity starts to occur in our life. Happiness, joy, bliss, the feeling that we're constantly moved by a very beautiful, loving, higher intelligence start to become more present in our life. So this is Karmic Loops in a nutshell. Now, I just wanted to quickly give you this physical representation. And if you need an example, I didn't give much examples, but if you need an example, what about a lover? Oh my God, I'm constantly attracting this lover that is emotionally unavailable. And then I find out they're emotionally unavailable, and I go to a new one, and I think it's a really good man, and again he becomes emotionally unavailable. Loop de loop de loop de loop, right? Maybe the first person that hurted you out of emotional availability created an imprint there, and since that moment, that has been looping around and around and around. It can be the same thing with a deal in business. Oh my God. Constantly, when I want to make a deal in business, it doesn't go well. One of my good friends, he's constantly saying, all the time in my life, I'm second place. And he so much wants to be first place. And constantly is second place. Whatever happens, I had one thing with responsibility. Every time I wanted to take responsibility, somehow my system started to distract me and I stopped taking responsibility for my life. And at one point I became aware, like, man, every time there is an opportunity to take responsibility, I move in a completely opposite direction. There is something that I'm avoiding here. Let me see what is inside. So I can go on and on with how much examples this is, but literally everything that is looping, everything that is kind of, you almost see there's a certain pattern that becomes a little bit too obvious, it becomes a little bit too like coincidental, no? Then, yeah, you have a karmic loop in your hands and there is something inside of you that you can heal. So I hope the Akashic transmission in this video is going to shine some more light on it. It was a lot of information that came through all at once, so my words are moving and shuddering, so please stay with it, because at the end of the transmission it becomes more subtle and more smooth. But at the beginning I felt I needed to say 5 sentences in one sentence, and so I stumbled upon my own ability to channel. But still, I think the vibration is there, and I'm choosing to keep it in the video and to keep it as it is for you to watch. I wish you an incredible journey with the Akashic Records right now, and let's dive into this transmission. Dear ones, do you ever notice that somehow patterns from a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago are coming back in an intense fashion these days? Are you noticing that something that you are pushing away comes back faster and faster and faster until you cannot unsee it and it feels you cannot avoid it? But at the same time, you need to have a way out, and there seems to be no way out. Life is playing some funny tricks on all of you, and we want to explain why and what is the right context for this. Karmic Loops is the closest to your English language that we can call this phenomenon. But we want to say that this is a phenomenon that is very much baked into the geometry of your universe. So it's part of the mechanism, it's part of the flow, it's part of the algorithm. It's part of the literal geometry where this fractalized universe is made from. So what we're going to explain right here is not only true for you, it's also true for the intelligence inside of you, and it's also true for the intelligences that you are part of, which means it's also true for your village, your city, your country, your continent, and the whole collective consciousness, the whole human collective. It's true in all aspects, and the dynamic works in all aspects. So whenever you are done applying what we are about to tell you on your own life, know that it is applicable in your organization, in your community, in your family, wherever you have an active role. This concept is equally powerful and available to all. So the beauty of an intensification of the karmic loops is the following. It's becoming more intense because it asks you to become more aware of it. Why does it ask you to become more aware of it? Because it's really time to live a life without this pattern. It's really, whatever you want to call it, higher intelligence, higher self, God, whatever name you want to give to the higher organizing principle. What is happening is that this higher organizing principle really wants you to stop living on this pattern. And so it's intensifying the loop, the feedback loop that normally was in place very loosely, and it's tightening and tightening and tightening that loop until you have to see it. Now, why do you have to see it? Why can't this pattern just go away on its own? It can't go away on its own because you are awareness, you are consciousness, you are an expanding awareness. the only way an awareness can expand is by becoming more aware of what is already there. And even though this sounds beautiful and rhyming, the implications of this are profound, because if you start noticing patterns that were previously, they didn't feel related or they didn't feel linked, and all of a sudden you start to see and feel the link, and only then you will be able to transcend that. What that means is you are a powerful observer. And the observing force is so powerful that once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And once you cannot unsee it, you cannot live any longer in the old way. And so you grow very definitively, very beautifully. Sometimes you grow and you fall back, and you grow and you fall back, and you grow and you fall back. But at other times, you just realize something and you become aware of something and you cannot unsee it anymore, and you will never go back a single moment. It's done. You're not going to indulge in the old patterns anymore. That is the main reason why these karmic loops are threatening. Now, why? Because you are being prepared. What for? Good question. And we cannot spoil everything. But to give you a sneak peek of what is happening in the universe, is that your reality is being upgraded and up-leveled. Your consciousness, your collective consciousness, and the organism of your earth is evolving and is making a shift in its awareness. And just like a shift in your awareness, it needs to see the old patterns and it needs to decide not to use them anymore. But when it comes to a collective consciousness that is inhabiting on Earth, millions and billions of nodes, humans, organisms, need to start to become aware of a new truth. And because you are here, more conscious, more aware than most human beings on this planet right now, you have given the role to learn this lesson more quickly than others. Because if you learn the lesson more quickly and you see the energy more quickly, after that you will be able to help see every other human being the same lesson more quickly. And this is how such an intelligence spreads in a collective system. You start to realize it, and you start then after that, let other people realize it too. You don't even have to say anything, just by being in your presence, people will realize these energies and intentions. So, this is a quite interesting thing, but we also have the feeling we moved a little bit ahead of the facts when it comes to this channeling. So to make all of this complete, we would love to share the karmic loops, and that is a good thing. And we would like to share what you can do about it in a beautiful, practical way. The main thing is that we send this channel so much information that kind of it came out all at once. So let us slow down the pace for a little bit and say thank you for still being here. If you were able to manage that, you will able to manage the rest of this transmission. Like we said, the karmic loops are here to let you become aware, to let you observe so that you can up-level. And as soon as you up-level, you help others to up-level too. The main dynamic that will be happening in your life will be that a team, an emotion, a certain way of events, a sequence of events, a sequence of emotions somehow is triggering a very familiar feeling, like, hey, I experienced this before. This seems very familiar, very peculiar, similar to what I have experienced that amount of years ago. And it can be first a pattern that was experienced every 3 years. And this karmic loop was always in place. We're not necessarily talking about karmic loops in general, we're talking about the shortening of them, the intensification of them. So in a way, the cord of this loop is being tightened, and so, in doing so, the feedback loop is getting faster and faster and faster. So what first would last 3 years, maybe goes to 1 year, maybe goes to 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, 2 weeks, 1 week, until it becomes so absolutely obvious that you're seeing it. And as soon as you're seeing it, here is what you need to do. Be present. See. Be curious. Let everything be there. Don't try to shove anything away. Become aware, acknowledge, and observe. As soon as this loop is there, know that it is here to tell you something. Know that it is definitely here to show you there is another way. And for that other way to be experienced, you first need to see your old way fully. So it's showing you very clearly, like, hey, this is a program you have been running. This is old program. There are updates available. Please see this old program. So literally the only thing you have to do is to see it. As soon as you see it, it will naturally be removed from your life. So you don't have to remove anything. You do not have to consciously release anything. You don't have to work for that. That mechanism is already in place. The only mechanism that is your role to play is the observance of it, the becoming aware of it. Because by becoming aware, you become more aware. And therefore the universe expands in awareness. Literally something that was subconscious or unconscious is becoming conscious. And that process is exactly the place where you can live in all the time and life will start to work for you. If you are just sitting in the middle of the border of the unconscious, the subconscious, and the conscious mind, and you're just sitting there observing in full acceptance, you have reached a very powerful state. And as soon as you reach this state, you know that life will start to work for you. But this is a whole nother topic. We just wanted to point out to you that once you start learning this process when it comes to karmic loops, you actually also learn this process when it comes to life. So, a practical way to start using this is as soon as you start to feel a very familiar pattern, do the following. Breathe a little bit deeper. Ask your body to stay in the moment as much as it can and become curious. Imagine even that your body and your awareness and your emotional and mental landscapes become your favorite Netflix show. And the only thing you are doing inside of yourself is turning the volume up of the Netflix show and watch it. And watch it, and watch it, and watch it. Take some time for yourself to sit down and stay in the room and see what happens when you naturally unfold this. It's not gonna be easy. It can become quite confrontational. Watch it. That's why it makes such a good content. If all the series were easy series, it will be quite boring on Netflix. It's because there is tension and confrontation and reflections with life and familiarity and different dynamics that it all becomes so enjoyable and almost addictive to watch. Become addicted to your own personal Netflix series, to your own personal unfolding, and you will be a great transmutator of these karmic loops. Thank you, dear one, for your attention and your listening. We are beyond grateful that you are here, and we look forward to assist you more with this quickening of awareness that you are in right now. We hope to have a practical and grounded effect on the processes you are in. So you don't all have to take it that heavy. You don't all have to think you are broken or something is wrong with you or that life is very hard on you, but rather just know what is truly happening, and it is way more a vibrational and a geometric game that is appearing, and higher intelligences that have new intentions that you are working with. In doing so, you can relieve the burden from yourself. The weight doesn't have to be on your shoulders. You don't have to carry the weight of the world. Rather, you have to let the stream of the world move through you. The quicker you do that, the easier your life becomes. Thank you, dear one, for listening to this transmission. We wish you a beautiful and honorable day. So wow, there was this channel on Karmic Loops. I have the feeling it's quite a beautiful thing to become aware of, right? Because when we start to really notice this, the faster we notice it and able to integrate it, and how they have been sharing, like seeing it and actually focusing on your inner world as a Netflix series and start to really watch it in a way. Just get some popcorn and start to watch it. What starts happening is actually it unfolds by itself. Our mind has the feeling it needs to do so many things, but I'm learning more and more. Those are just protecting mechanisms because it feels like it's failing when it's not doing all of these things. But I'm realizing in myself and in my clients that once you let go, the system just works beautifully on itself, way better than I could ever controllably arrange and do. So what they're sharing, for me, my interpretation, and yours can be very different. I'm curious. Leave in the comments how you interpreted this transmission. For me, it feels there's kind of a level of awareness and surrender they are inviting us into in a fun way. Like, everyone who can watch a series on Netflix can do this. You don't have to be an advanced meditator to do this. Everyone can do this. The only thing you have to become aware is that everything should be welcomed. And that is an interesting thing, right? So really watch it, and if you feel irritation, let it be welcomed. It's one of the characters of the series. If you feel I don't want to do this right now, that's another part of the series. If you feel like, man, I'm not good at this, I want to stop, that's another character of the series. That's not you, you're the watcher. All of the other things are not the watcher. So you're really just sitting there. And after that starts to appear, you will become aware of so many things, and probably it will show you where the karmic loop comes from. It will show you everything you need to see until you fully see it. And as soon as you fully see it, it is kind of moved out of you by the higher intelligence. Nothing to do for that. Nothing to do for that. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is it that we have this mechanism in place already, right? Every human has this mechanism in place already. It's time that we start to not push it down so much. I am I'm beyond excited for this. I just wanted to share this real quick, and I already reminded you, but we will have a meeting. From the recording of this video, the meeting is already be tomorrow, so I'm gonna be there. Of course, I'm gonna channel the 2025, and after that there will be a Q&A where you can ask questions or to me or to the Akashic Records, completely free. I'm so looking forward to see you there. If you cannot make it, I will make sure the same link will give you a replay. And with that being said, thank you so much for being here. Feel free to share this video because I believe the awareness of the karmic loops needs to be widespread, and I can only share it so much. And after that, it's up to the algorithm and up to how much you like this and how much value you got from this too, so that this can ripple out and this awareness can ripple out into the world. I'm beyond grateful that you're here all the way to the end. I'm wishing you a great day. I'm wishing you great awareness in watching your own Netflix series and unfolding these karmic loops into more and more bliss. And I hope to see you very soon. Much love. Bye-bye.